True story. One morning, as I was lying on my bed, I realized I didn't have a boatload of evidence for the flat earth. I had my top three, had my go-tos. So I decided to come up with 7 more to make it 10. So here we go. Here are my top 10 flat earth proofs. So I'm going to run through them, and I may or may not expound on all of them. Number 1, the Most High laid it out plain and simple on how he created the earth in the first chapter of the Bible. It doesn't describe a spinning ball while orbiting the sun, that's for sure. Disclaimer. Ecclesiastes 8 and 7, verse 17. I thought this was interesting. I believe it's referring to everything that the earth got going on. It reads, "Then I beheld all the work of God, that a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun. Because though a man labor to seek it out, yet he shall not find it. Yea, further, though a wise man think to know it, yet shall he not be able to find it." So what I take away from that is no one knows what the earth is. On top of that, the devil has dominion over the earth, unfortunately, and all he do is lie. So this is where they tell us we live. And the majority of the people here believe it. As people, we just simply accept the reality which is presented to us. And hey, I like CGI just as much as the next guy. But that's all they show us when they're trying to prove to us that we live in a solar system and there's vast outer space and galaxies. Here's a quote from Richard P. Feynman. "I would rather have questions that can't be answered than have answers that can't be questioned."
Sure, just make a little splash in the ocean, that's all. See, just a little tiny... Ooh, that ain't tiny at all, is it?
Haha, good riddance. Anyway, this is the flat earth model. It's closer to what's actually going on than what they tell us. As you can see, we're under the sun, just like it mentioned in Ecclesiastes 8 and 17. Also, the book of Enoch in chapter 77 says, "These are the two great luminaries, whose orbs are as the orbs of heaven, and the dimensions of both are equal." The sun and the moon are both revolving above the earth in a circuit, traveling in a clockwise fashion. The moon is revolving much slower than the sun, resulting in it being lapped every 27 days. That's why sometimes the moon rises before the sun and sometimes it rises after the sun. Anyways, I'm gonna stop it here. There's so much more that I can talk about, like the fact that Antarctica isn't a continent at the bottom of a ball, but it actually encompasses the world's oceans and continents, holding the water in opposed to gravity holding it to a ball. Number 2, this is an easy one. The government and their lies. They lie just about everything. The earth is no exception. To me, that's why it wasn't that hard to accept the flat earth. Check this out. If this ain't a boatload of crap, I don't know what is. Mysterious cosmic heartbeat detected billions of light years from Earth. Astronomers have discovered a repeating fast radio burst lasting 1,000 times longer than similar events that may come from a distant neutron star on steroids. Astronomers have discovered a strange and persistent radio signal from a distant galaxy. The discovery could help astronomers finally pinpoint the source of fast radio burst. Oh man, this is gold. Most FRBs, which are strong bursts of radio waves, from galaxies billions of light years away lasts just a few milliseconds before blinking out in our one-off events. This new signal, FRB 2019-1221A, lasts up to 3 seconds, making it 1,000 times longer than the average FRB, and also has the clearest repeated pattern discovered thus far. It was unusual, says the researcher Daniel McChilly of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Hold up. Real quick. What is a light year? Let's see, you're a unit of astronomical distance equivalent to the distance that light travels in 1 year, which is 9.4607 times 10 square kilometers, which is nearly 6 trillion miles.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Number 3. When observing the stars, they do not reflect what we should see if we were actually orbiting the sun. There are certain constellations that are visible in the night sky all year round. One side of the universe shouldn't look identical to the opposite side of the universe. Question: if we lived on a ball orbiting around the sun, how is it possible that we see the same stars 6 months apart when we would be looking in the opposite direction? Answer: it wouldn't be possible at all. We live on a flat, stationary Earth plane. The Earth supposedly travels 186 million miles to the other side of the sun every 6 months. The stargazer would be looking 180 degrees in the polar opposite direction, with the Earth and the sun blocking any possibility of seeing the same stars. Research Flat Earth. Number 4. The Earth is about 71% water. Water lies flat and level on its surface, and it must reside in low areas of land. Water has to be contained. It has to be surrounded by higher land. Otherwise, it'll travel in the easiest, least resistant path to lands under sea level. Now, if the Earth was a ball, the sunlight that's coming towards your feet wouldn't reflect like that. It would be a bulge in the middle and a drop off as the farther you look away, but it isn't. It's flat. It's reflecting like a mirror. All right, y'all. For the sake of time, I'm going to fire these next 4 off without any interruptions. Number 5. Flight paths in the southern hemisphere on the globe makes no sense. Planes never fly over Antarctica to get to their destination. It would be the shortest flight time. Instead, they always fly to the northern hemisphere, then back south to get to the other side of the Earth. But on a flat Earth map, which is the AE map, it makes perfect sense why planes in the south fly those paths. They basically fly in a straight line. That's the quickest way to get from point A to point B. Also, flight times flying east shouldn't be the same as flight times flying west. I flew from Dallas to Atlanta, and the flight took 1 hour and 45 minutes. Flying back, it took 1 hour and 47 minutes. That should not happen on an eastwardly spinning Earth. Number 6. Let's start with an analogy. Imagine there's a ball, Earth, with air on it, and you put it in water, outer space, and it doesn't get wet. Now, make that ball spin and go in a circle at 67,000 miles per hour. What's keeping it from not getting wet? A positive pressurized system, the thing that's making it livable on Earth, can't exist next to a negative pressurized vacuum. outer space without the two equalizing out. There must be a solid barrier separating the two opposing forces. It's called thermodynamics. Number 7. Rainbows need 3 components in order to work. 1. Misty water. 2. A light source. And 3. A reflective glass behind that light source. That reflective glass behind the light source is the dome. Number 8. We see too far. If the Earth is about 25,000 miles in circumference, the curvature rate for that would be about 8 inches per mile squared. There are many locations where tall buildings, lighthouses, and mountains can be viewed at 50, 60, even 100 miles from a low elevation off the ground. They should be behind the supposed curve. Number 9. The North Pole star Polaris is always stationary in the sky. On an Earth that's tilted, spinning, and orbiting over 500 million miles around the sun, there's no way that star will remain stationary like it does. The creepy Georgia Guidestones were erected over 40 years ago, and you can still view Polaris through a hole that was drilled in the middle of it. See? It also has slots in them so that they indicate when the sun is in its solstices and equinoxes. I guarantee you, whoever designed those stones like that was a flat earther. Correction. So, as of July the 6th, 2022, you can no longer go view the Georgia Guidestones because someone decided to blow them up. With that said, I like to take this opportunity to tell you to check out my other video I have. It's all about viewing Polaris as an experiment. It's about creating a device where you can place that device wherever, pointing at Polaris with a scope attached to it. You can view Polaris as many times you want from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go to Georgia. Okay, number 10. No curvature visible on the Earth. In 2013, I took my first flight as a globe believer. I thought I was going to see the curve of the Earth, but I was disappointed. All I saw was land that faded out due to the haze. Me, on that day, trying to see the curvature of the Earth. I said to myself, I must need to get higher in order to see the curve. To get that high, we must rely on NASA, the space agency that has lied about everything they have ever done. Its name is Satan, scrambled. But wait, the T is missing, you say? Oh no, that's why they say T minus 10, 9, 8, 7 before they launch a rocket. They were founded by occultists and Nazis in the 1950s. I mean, they basically have a serpent tongue going through their logo. And they are deceiving us. These people are going to great lengths to fool you. For example, on the International Space Station, these clowns are using wires and green screens, and they even go as far as to hairspray the women astronauts' hair to make it seem like they're in a weightless environment. These are the people you trust and believe to tell us about the world? I don't think so. All right, y'all. I'm out.